Hi traders, and I know it's a 4-day weekend for many of you listening in from the US, but there is some CAD data tomorrow, and this is the US dollar CAD, and this is one of the most interesting forex charts out there. One of the main features of the market over the last 6 months has been this bounce, this strength in the dollar. A nice push up in the early part of 2014. Fell back in the summer, and then this big push to the upside in the second half of the year. And I think this is going to be one of the big features of the markets in the next period, because lots of fundamental reasons, but just as the US has completed their quantitative easing, so Europe and Japan are accelerating their easing. So the dollar is a target for many organisations, many institutions. So we're seeing a nice trending pattern in this US dollar CAD. This has been going sideways for a while. Going sideways for, sorry, when I say a while, I mean a week. Big breakout here in the early part of November. So we've pulled back here, and now we have broken and closed above this key line in the sand, this key pivotal area here, 113. So tomorrow I'm going to stand aside, let the CAD data come out, and then see if this is a candidate for a pullback, ideally to anything from 112.70 area, or even 50 to 113, depending on where they land. And anybody who wants to join me in the room, let me know, because I'll show you how I handle situations like this. I stand back, let the data come out and come to me, and then I wait for the markets to tell me which way they want to take it, and I'll show you how I do that and the decisions I make tomorrow. I'll handpick some good data next week to look at as well. US dollar yen, I'm long this one. Bought the lows here. Again, this has been a nice break up on, is this Monday? Yeah, nice break up on Monday. Into resistance and sold off on Tuesday, and then we've just interested in intraday charts, and so I've picked out an intraday low and bought that and kept it, and then we'll see if got a lot of Japanese data overnight, so I got to stop to break even down at these lows. I'm going to see if this can break out, but we are essentially in a box. We need a very, very strong push to break this, but like I said, I just like the dollar. We have been very oversold for the last 8 weeks, but you can see the dollar is so strong. We've pretty much, apart from this period here in October, we've been oversold for a big chunk of that time. So it just shows you just how bullish the dollar is. Okay, so the dollar is an important feature, and I'll talk about, I'm putting together a webinar, I'll talk about the knock-on effect on that in other markets. Right, so the flip side of that is any highs in pound and euro are getting slammed into. So that looks weak. It looks as if they could roll over and come and see 155, but hold your fire, because that is, well, if you get short at the highs, great. Otherwise, the swing traders, I would hold fire. But just because you're getting in, I personally don't like swing trading short when a market is so low, an instrument is so low. Euro US, very similar picture, struggling. We've pulled back on this big bar here on the 21st, and then we're selling into resistance areas, and that's pretty much how markets normally work, but particularly the euro. You know, you get a sell, it drifts for a week, and then you tend to get another leg down, it drifts, leg down, drifts. It doesn't drift, it pulls back. That's the wrong terminology. Sorry, it pulls back. So I think we could come down to 120, but I prefer to buy the US dollar CAD and US dollar yen than sell these, but there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't sell these at all, as long as your stop is relatively close. I mean, for example, that's quite a good setup. If you're short at 124.80 or 90, you only need a 50-60 point stop on that for swing trading. So that is actually quite good. Right, pound yen is very, very similar to US dollar yen, but I'm sticking with the dollar. Euro yen is there. Euro CAD had a very sweet move. I've been waiting for this to collapse. Far from it. The low was bought and that ran up. Oil. This has rolled over, so any pullback to, let's fib it, let's drop down to a 15-minute chart. You can see the wedge breakdown set up. I was buying longs here, but got out with a small profit. So, fib today's move. 70.30 or 71, somewhere in this zone here is the potential for that to push up into and drop back. We're heading for 60 potentially. Next stop's 65, but that's a way of handling it. If you're very patient and you bid or you offer out up here at 71, 70 or 72, you may not get filled, but you would potentially get a very, very nice entry if that can bounce that far. Alright, I hope that helps, and then look out for details of the coming webinars.